The Department of Environment and Natural Resources will begin testing the Buncombe County Schools central office property on Wednesday. They're looking for a toxic chemical.
That substance is TCE, or trichloroethene, a substance known to cause cancer that contaminated wells on and around the school property. News 13's Frank Verboni joins us now.
Frank, how long have people known about the contamination?
Well, that's the question. Diener has known since the early 1990s that contamination from neighboring industrial plants was spreading. But today, no one's sure just how serious the contamination is on the school property once owned by Square D, one of the companies Diener believes is responsible for the contamination. Square D sold the central office property to Buncombe County in 1989. Years later, Diener discovered the old Square D plant across the street was contaminated with TCE and other toxic chemicals.
I do believe the ones closest to Square D up near the road have been fairly recently tested.
Superintendent Tony Baldwin says the contamination was found in test wells on the school's property in the 1990s. Wells that are still tested annually and, according to Diener, still above safe drinking levels.
We've always been on city water source. There have been no wells for drinking water on this property.
But the concern now is whether the contamination is inside the building, in the air, where school officials plan to renovate and open a new science, technology, engineering, and math facility, or STEM school.
I'm simply just not aware of any type of air quality issue we've been made aware of inside the building.
They were so concerned about it back in '94, they put a testing well on the school property.
Robert Mall is executive director of Buncombe Forward, a political action committee that learned about the contamination and began asking Diener questions.
And we looked through 4 file boxes of stuff, and we find some pretty damning evidence that this stuff's been going on for a very long time.
He says no one's been keeping an eye on the contamination, which could be moving, a situation similar to the old CTS plant, also contaminated with TCE.
Well, wait a second. We can't be putting a school there unless we know that the site is safe.
His biggest concern, a test well paved over by the central office around 2004 when they expanded their maintenance garage. Diener will uncap the well Wednesday to begin new tests. Tests Baldwin hopes will put people's concerns to rest.
Our intent is to do extensive testing. We're going to rule out that there's any type of air quality issue in our building.
Diener says it won't know if there's air contamination until after testing the groundwater. They say if no contamination is found in the uncapped well and possible additional wells, there won't likely be a need for air quality testing.